Now we've come to the final stages of the meal. Entrees are cleared and the guests are relaxing. Serving a sumptuous dessert is the best way to end the meal. Most of us have an insatiable sweet tooth. Needless to say, it's a very popular course. The potential profit margin on dessert makes it a course that restaurants love to push. An effective way to merchandise dessert is to have a separate dessert menu or a dessert cart or a tray to show the guests what is available. Seeing the actual desserts can be an irresistible tease. With the entree plates cleared, reset the table with the standard dessert spoon and fork before you take the order. Also place any items needed for the coffee or tea service, such as sugar or artificial sweetener. Then offer the dessert menus to the guests. As a server, you should know just as much about the desserts as you do the rest of the menu. Your dessert menu may list after-dinner specialty drinks or wines that pair well with each dessert. Your knowledge of appropriate pairing can really pay off here. Let your guests know about any other specials. Specialty coffees and teas and cordials can be offered in place of a heavier dessert. These drinks are stylish endings to a meal and will also increase the overall check average. The dessert order may be added to the main dupe or a new one may be started. Take the order in the same sequence you used earlier, women first, then the gentlemen. Here you will note who gets which desserts and who gets beverages. Once you have all the details, thank the guests and place the order with the kitchen. While the kitchen is plating the desserts, take this time to serve any beverages. In most cases, you will need to set additional flatware and china to fill the order. If you are serving coffee, place the cup and saucer together just above the spoon to the right of the setting with the handle at 4 o'clock. Depending on the degree of your tea service, you would place a cup and saucer. With a full tea service, you may warm the pot and cups and steep the selected tea before it is placed on the table. Wines and cordials would also be served at this time. When the desserts are ready, bring them to the table the same way you did for the appetizers and entrees. If you use a dessert cart, it should be stocked with all the necessary serving equipment. That includes plates, forks, spoons, napkins, and clean knives for cutting. A pitcher of warm water is useful. You can dip a knife into the warm water before slicing a cake so the icing won't stick to the knife. Keep an eye on your guests as they need refills of coffee or tea. When you see they are winding down and all desserts are finished, you can clear the dishes. The table may need one last decrumbing. This is a good time to see if the guests need anything else.
Is there anything else I might get for you now? Very good.
Your establishment may instruct you to wait for the guest to ask for his or her check, but if you see it as obvious that they're waiting, you should approach them. Many restaurants have computer-based systems to track a table's order. It may also add any state sales taxes and even add a tip charge for parties over 6 or 8. If you do the math yourself, use a calculator and double-check your totals. Wrong totals on the final bill can cause unnecessary tensions and ruin an otherwise wonderful meal. The check should be presented to the table in a plate, tray, or in a folder. If the host of the table is obvious, place it in front of them. If not, place it at the center of the table. Keep an eye on the table and look for a sign that the check is ready to be picked up. If the guest is paying by credit card, provide a pen for them to sign it. It's very annoying for the guest to have to ask for a pen. Be responsible with your guest's credit card. Be sure it is used for the meal charge only and returned immediately. Credit card number thieves are very resourceful. If they pay in cash, tell them you will be right back with their change. Don't be presumptuous about your tip and ask, will you need change back? At the end of the meal, thank the guests and let them know it was a pleasure to serve you. The table should be reset shortly after the guests have left the dining room. Never leave your dining room looking like a demolition zone. Great service must be consistent and logical, yet still flexible enough to handle any unforeseen twists. At first, serving guests can be very stressful, but with experience, genuine and hospitable table service will become second nature for you.